7 key things to do to prepare for early retirement. Retirement is the most prolonged vacation of your life. When you are considering an early retirement option, it is up to you to ensure that you are adequately prepared for it. The 7 key things to do to prepare for early retirement will help you enjoy this long vacation. Before we get right into the list, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notification. Number 7. Perspective. Your perspective on retirement is the first thing to change when preparing for early retirement. You need to understand that retirement does not mean you are old and will sit on the porch till you die. The most significant part of preparing for early retirement is an understanding that retirement is only taking your time into your own hands. So it is not a point to stop working, that's for old folks. As a young person considering early retirement, your mindset is to stop working for people and start enjoying your labor. That perspective will make you achieve your goal earlier and also enjoy your retirement. You have to condition your mind not to see retirement as a rite of passage and something you get due to hard work. Retirement is something you go into because you planned and achieved. It is in itself a full-scale job. The planning and execution of a retirement plan till you pass should not be considered lazy years. They remain active years of your life. Once you settle into that perspective, the rest of the process is easy. Number 6. Plan finances. The biggest thing to consider is your finances. If we didn't have to plan our finances and go for early retirement, no one would even work. The technical part of your retirement must be on the right course when you set off to go on early retirement. In the finance department, one has to underscore their current and finances. The plans to retire are even going to be determined by how much money you have. Should you retire in 10 years or the next 20? What assets are the best for an extended retirement as you seek it? A financial advisor comes in handy to teach you a few tricks on managing your finances as you go through with your early retirement. The amount of money you spend annually will determine how much you will need to have a comfortable retirement. The plans of all things finance will reflect positively as soon as you start your 40 to 50 years of retirement. The notion that taxes are lower or non-existent in the retirement phase is not entirely true. You will also have to plan the types of tax accounts you would prefer. Those taxes depend on the place of stay and the assets acquired. So get into the dynamics of a retirement plan with an advisor and get your financial management in check. This will be helpful. Retirement is not something you go into without planning extensively, and the financial aspect of planning retirement cannot be understated. Number 5. Downsize debt. As you prepare to have a good retirement, you have to go into it with little to no debt. The debt that you have now will keep rising with inflation and time for payment. So once you can downsize your debt, the rest of your preparations come easy. Let's say you have a 15% interest on your credit card. The payment of this debt will mean that you have 15% more wealth for your retirement. If you stall your debts and decide to pay within retirement, all the interests can throw retirement into an abysmal plan. So once you set your eyes on early retirement, it is only prudent that you make provisions to cover all your debts. If it includes earning more by taking up side hustles, you should do it. There is no harm in it. Working a little too hard so that you can have a good retirement is a very regular practice. While the average person saves little, you go ahead and double save. If paying all your debts would mean cutting down your living expenses, you have to do that. The budget life would come off as punishment and living under your means, but it is the best shot at getting the retirement you need. Focusing on only essential expenditure and saving up so much can cancel out most of your debt, which will now put you on the best path for early retirement. For the record, no one has been advised to retire while in debt. So as this might come as a gentle piece of advice, it is a principle that must not be treated lightly. Start downsizing your debt, which is code for pay everything you owe ahead of retirement. Number 4. Heavy investment. The essence of investment cannot be emphasized enough. There is nothing more essential in your journey to early retirement than investments that will cover you for life. The investment objectives that you must set for yourself as an early retiree will make or unmake you. When you make investments, you are guaranteed your money working for you throughout your retirement. It might be a bit difficult to save in your 20s because you are in school and working entry-level jobs, but that point is equally essential if you plan to save early. Even though you are positioned to earn much more in your 40s, you cannot put your investments off till then. If you save in your 20s, you will have 2 decades of investment by your 40s. I know you like the sound of that, so start investing now. The type of investments to make to achieve early retirement is also a strategic point. This fundamental strategy is what will put you at the level you want for your retirement. The investment that you must make for your early retirement should be consistent and proven to be worth much over the years. You can rely on the stocks because they are relatively low risk. You can also try government bonds since those are insured by the state and cannot fail you. Diversifying your investment portfolio will be a good advantage on your part. Real estate has always been a good investment for retirees. The type of investment that is suitable for you can be determined by your financial advisor and accountants. So speak to them about early retirement and let them start planning your income-producing asset portfolio. The earlier, the better. Number 3. Retirement projects. When you get into retirement, you have to think of it as an extended vacation. As we mentioned earlier, it is the most extended vacation ever. But you need to realize that you can get bored quickly. If you don't go ahead and have a good strategy for your next phase, you will be a mess. So yes, you have your investments and your Social Security plus all your money saved up, but what do you do when you are bored? You need to plan projects to undertake while in retirement, especially if you are retiring early. Many people open up family restaurants and cafes when they retire. That is one way to go about it, but for a younger retiree, your options are a lot. You can start projects that bring in money and also gives back to your community. Many people use their hobbies as new projects for retirement. So if you loved photography, a photo studio where you also teach the youth about photography is a good option. If you are into sports, you can build a team and compete in tournaments. Projects for retirement are necessary to plan because you are still young and need to continue being active. Some people take on the project of starting a family for retirement. That could also be a fair thing to do, but you would need something to take your mind off the stress of keeping a family together. Many new mothers start writing blogs when they retire to raise their children. You can also host a club for all mothers to share their experiences. The options for retirement jobs are limitless. Find one that stands out for your interests and doesn't feel like a job. It is the best thing you will ever experience. Number 2. Social Security. As you retire, one of the things that should be fully connected is your Social Security. Reducing your Social Security retirement age would mean that you will have to contribute more. This point supports the earlier point of financial planning. You should always invest in private Social Security to double the income for your retirement. You can never save enough not to need Social Security, especially with all the government perks. If you want to see your Social Security functioning fully, then you should make extra automated contributions. In some countries, the government takes Social Security as a source, but you have to make contributions directly in the US. So you can get your bank to pay more than the average amount that your tax bracket is expected to pay. That way, you will be receiving hefty checks throughout your retirement. The goal of Social Security is to pay you till you die, so make the best out of it once you choose to retire early. Number 1. Plan for healthcare. As you retire as a young person, you don't understand the impact of healthcare. But once you start growing older, there are more medical bills to pay. Your retirement benefits will take care of some routine medical checkups, but the other medical emergencies should be planned for. The plans for healthcare emergencies are essential as you choose to retire. You have to sign up for Medicare insurance and contribute to averting any unforeseen medical bills that would make you go broke. Many people have retired and gone back to full-time work because they had healthcare emergencies. So this principle must not be taken for granted. Planning for healthcare will make your retirement complete. What other key things do you know of when preparing for early retirement? What is your retirement plan and how close are you to completing it? Would you please share your thoughts with us?